Alright everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. Now, yesterday we actually got the official announcement from Pokemon that the 2016 standard format is going to be X and Y and on. And we're going to be taking a look at what decks are going to be popular and what I think anyways are, what the decks everyone is going to play. There's going to be a lot of, different cards here, maybe some you've never even seen before. So, that could be interesting. But today, we're going to be taking a look at what decks are going to be popular when rotation hits, and what I feel are going to be, the cards and decks everyone plays. So, let's get into this. Yeah. Okay, so, the first deck, and probably the most obvious one, is going to be Bronzong, right? Bronzong, it's just a good deck, period. Bronzong has that awesome ability to have some synergy for metal types, and with stuff like Aegislash and Dialga EX and Cobalion EX and even Mega Metagross, Bronzong is pretty good in that standard. You can just it's pretty much, well, obviously it's Electric's ability put into a metal type instead of, electric. And when rotation hits, I feel like Bronzong is just going to be even better, We're not going to have annoying stuff like lasers, we're going to be losing quite a bit of stuff that can kind of hurt a Bronzong deck sometimes. So Bronzong, I feel like, is going to be just an amazing card when rotation hits. Because you're going to have it with Dialga, you're going to have it with Aegislash, you can still run the Mega Rayquaza deck. You even have Mega Aggron if you want to go that route. So I feel like Bronzong is just a great card, and obviously Bronzong decks will still be popular when rotation hits. The next deck that I think is going to stay is Yveltal EX. Now, Yveltal EX may kind of lose its power, with the loss of Hypnotoxic Laser and Darkrai. Darkrai being the big one. I still think Yveltal EX still has some potential to be a very powerful deck. Will it be as amazing? I doubt it. You're losing Burbank, Laser, and Darkrai, and even Absol. So, Yveltal EX gets hurt quite a bit with the loss of Hypnotoxic Laser and Darkrai. So I feel like Yveltal won't be as powerful, but Yveltal EX I still think can be a very good card. Evil Ball is just a good attack, period. There's no denying that Evil Ball being one of the best attacks we have, I still feel like this card is still going to be a popular card. I don't know if you can build a deck around it anymore, but you never know. It's Yveltal EX. It's always going to see some play, I think, and we'll have to see what happens. And we got Baby Yveltal. It's just something that can help the Yveltal EX out. Also, it's another great option for powering up Mega Tyranitar EX, which I will get into in just a minute, but Baby Yveltal, it's another nice card that will stay. Xerneas EX. Now, fairies are going to suck a lot without Max Potion, I feel. The thing that made fairies so interesting was the ability to heal off all the damage you did to them with no sweat. That's why fairies were so popular, is because they had that unique ability to move around energy and then heal all the damage you did to them off. However, without Max Potion, it's going to be a little rough for fairy decks. All we have is Pokemon Center Lady and Super Potion. Super Potion isn't that good of a card because A, it only does 60 healing, and you have to discard an energy. And Center Lady's a supporter and only heals 60. We do have that Dragonite, but it's not going to be as good. But fairies could still see some kind of content. The ability to have free retreat, move the damage around, like at free will, it can still be a pretty decent combo. So I can still see, fairy decks, still see some play. Next up is a card that hasn't even come out yet. I haven't even done a review of Bandit Ring. Well, I'm just waiting for the English scans to go up on Pokebeach, so then I can review Bandit Ring, or Ancient Origins, sorry. Because I do want to review the set, but I don't want to review the Japanese scans. I want to review the English scans. So, like I said, there will be a review going up as soon as, the English scans go live on Pokebeach. And we're going to be looking at Vespiquen. Now, if you don't know what this card does, that attack right there, right here, this attack, it's basically the same thing. It's the same thing as Flareon's attack, where, for each Pokemon you discard pilot, it's 10 more damage. And this thing is amazing because you can actually search out with Level Ball. Plus, it has Free Retreat. And with the Jolteon, Flareon, and Vaporeon cards, we're going to be getting Bandit Ring. This thing can have Water, Lightning, and things. So it can hit a lot of things for weakness, which is actually kind of scary. And like I said, Vespiquen, I feel, is still going to be a popular deck. Just because since we're losing Flareon, I mean, we are losing the eggs and the Audino and stuff like that, and the evolutions to kind of add more power. Like, we're losing Leafeon and, stuff like that. But we're still going to have this Vespiquen kind of combination going on, which is still going to be a very good deck, especially because we're not losing Battle Compressor, so I can still see this being a good card to play. Now, Seismitoad. A lot of people think Seismitoad is going to still be strong, even with the loss of Hypnotoxic Laser and Verbank. I feel like it might still be good, but there's one big problem. Sceptile EX. Sceptile EX is probably going to be the best deck in the format. It's a very good card. It's strong. It hits heavy. It's just Sceptile EX is really powerful, both the Mega and the regular evolution. And I feel like that, and even Vespiquen, will keep Seismitoad in check. I honestly feel like Seismitoad won't be playable come rotation. It's not the fact that we're losing Hypnotoxic Laser and Verbank. It's the fact that we're losing It's the fact that we are gaining Sceptile EX. That's why I feel like Toad is still going to be one of the best decks in the format. What am I saying? He's not going to be the best deck in the format. I feel like Toad, it's really going to die off in play, especially because Vileplume's coming out, and, there's so many different grass types we're going to be having to kind of murder Toad. Toad, I feel like it's just not going to be that good at come rotation. Next is Megateetar. I'm sorry if you can't see that well. That's the best image I could find on the internet. I could zoom in, I guess. Now, Mega Tyranitar, that's really blurry. Mega Tyranitar does 110 plus I can't remember the amount of damage, but it does a lot of damage if they already have damage on them. However, it takes 4 energies to attack, but, like I stated before, we do have the baby Yveltal as kind of an energy acceleration for Mega Tyranitar, and that's why I think Megateetar is still going to work. Now, Megateetar with Bats is going to be a very popular deck. Megateetar has this ability that allows you to play 2 tools on it, so you can put a weakness policy on it, and then Lucario and stuff like that won't be damaging the Megateetar and be really hurting the deck. So that's why I think Megateetar is going to be a great deck for the format. Now, another interesting card is Swampert. Now, one of the biggest and the cards I'm sad about losing, I'm probably going to be doing a top 5 or top 10 cards that I'm going to miss when rotation hits. I'm probably going to do that. That'd be a little fun top 10 to do. I'm going to miss Empoleon. Empoleon was one of my favorite stage 2s. It was one of my favorite just cards, period, for the game and the meta, because it was good, We saw it play with Dusknoir and Miltank, and then we're seeing it played as a tech card for Archie's Ace in the Hole. Empoleon is just a great attacker. Attack command is an amazing attack. It's got draw support. It's got a good amount of HP. 1 energy to attack. It can do a lot of damage. Empoleon is just an amazing card, but we're losing it. And the next thing we have is Swampert. Hydro Pump may not be as strong as it, but you never know. With the reprint of Level Ball and the format, that might slow down a bit without the amount of speed we may have, I could feel like Swampert might actually be a decent contender. Maybe a Swampert Mega Manectric deck, maybe Swampert Primal Kyogre, I don't know. There's a lot of options to run, Swampert Huntail. We'll have to see what happens, though. But like I said, I still feel like Swampert is still going to be an interesting deck to take a look at. Now, here's the Sceptile EX I was talking about. Now, for Grass and a Colorless, it does 60 plus 70 more damage if the defending Pokemon is affected by a special condition. Yeah. That is a pretty strong attack. And I feel like Sceptile EX alone is a great attacker. However, factor in the Mega Sceptile EX. Now, obviously this is in Japanese, but basically it does 100 damage for 2 energies, and then it says attach 2 grass energies from your hand to one of your Pokemon. So with Professor's Letter, you can combo this with maybe with Trevenant, Giratina EX, maybe Dragonite EX, and even other Sceptiles. So that's why Sceptile EX is going to be an amazing deck for the format, and that's why I think Sceptile EX is just going to be such a great deck. And I hope when I do my Ancient Origins pack opening, I pull a lot. Next up is Raichu. Now, obviously, Raichu Skyfield is a popular deck, but people have found ways to get around that, so it's not as popular anymore. But Raichu Skyfield could still be a great deck, especially with the fact that it can still hit the Yveltals and Mega Rays for weakness, and even a brand new EX, which I'll get into in just a minute. So you never know, Raichu could still be a potential threat. Next up is Primal Groudon. Primal Groudon doesn't really lose much with the rotation. I mean, honestly, it doesn't really lose anything, to be honest with you. I mean, what is it losing? Landorus EX? Well, most Primal Groudon decks don't even need the Landorus EX. Primal Groudon is just really good. I feel like Primal Groudon is just going to be still strong. And, a lot of people are like, well, Mega Sceptile EX and Sceptile. Yeah, but keep in mind, we do have Weakness Policy and Tool Retriever, and even Xerosic if you want to go that route. So, Primal Groudon I still feel is going to be a very strong deck with Wobbuffet. So, I mean, don't count out Primal Groudon just yet. It's still going to see play. And, like I said, it doesn't really lose anything when the rotation comes. Another interesting card is Mega Venusaur EX. Now, this card I don't think can be playable at the moment, even with Virizion EX. However, I think when rotation hits, this card could be some kind of potential deck with Vileplume. When you pair this with Mega Turbo, Mega Venusaur EX could actually be a pretty decent deck. You play the Mega Turbo, and then you play your basic energies for turn, and then you get a Vileplume in play. Yeah, Mega Venusaur is going to be a tough nut to crack. And that's why I feel like Mega Venusaur could still be a very decent potential deck when rotation hits. Will it be good? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I still think Mega Venusaur is a pretty decent deck. Now, Mega Rayquaza. This card, it doesn't lose all that much, I feel. Yeah, sure, it loses Colress, but you're still going to have Skyfield. You're still going to have Shaman. You're still going to have this. You're still going to have that. I feel like Mega Rayquaza is still going to be a very, unbalanced deck. Because, yeah, why not? 220 HP Pokemon that has the potential of having no weakness. That can do 210 damage on the first turn. Pretty balanced. But Mega Rayquaza is still going to be a popular deck, in my opinion. That lightning weakness is going to hurt, but remember, you got Altaria. Next up is the Dragon Mega Rayquaza. This, I feel like, might actually be a decent deck with the rotation, With Reshiram, you just slowly build up a Mega Rayquaza with Double Dragon, and then you just do 300 a turn, and how do they beat you? So, Mega Rayquaza, in my opinion, is still going to be a very good deck. You never know. Next is Mega Gardevoir. Now, like I said, Mega Fairy Pokemon are losing Max Potion, but you still have Brilliant Arrow, which can still do a lot of damage. And yeah, you are losing a few good cards, but Mega Gardevoir I feel like could still stay in the format. And you never know. Like I said, I think Mega Gardevoir is still going to be a popular deck because now with Mega Turbo, it's easier to use, and there's just different ways to make it even more stronger. So Mega Gardevoir I feel will still be a popular deck. Manectric. Now Manectric EX is probably my favorite EX Pokemon out at the moment. I just love this card. I just love how it's fun, it's versatile, it's just a very good card in my opinion. Manectric EX is still going to be a very strong card when the rotation hits. It's just a solid card in general, and that's why. And then we have the Mega Manectric, which is still going to see play because you have Turbo Bolt. Turbo Bolt is a great attack for energy acceleration. And like I said, Mega Manectric EX is still going to be a popular deck in my opinion. And like I said, just two of the strongest cards that we're going to have is going to be the Manectric combo. And, we're going to have to play more fighting decks to really counter these things. Speaking of fighting, we have Lucario. Fighting types lose Landorus EX, which is really bad. Lando was another amazing EX, one of my favorites, and we're losing it. And now we're just stuck with Lucario. Now, Lucario doesn't see much play because of Mewtwo, and because Landorus is 50 times better, but when rotation hits, Mewtwo and Landorus are both going, and Psychic types won't really be a threat, so Lucario EX might actually be a very strong idea with maybe Machamp or Crobats. I don't know, but like I said, Lucario EX is going to be a very good attacker, especially with dealing with those Mega Tyranitars and Mega Manectrics. Next up, we have Hipouton. This card is actually just like has seen play recently at Nationals, and yes, I'll be doing a Hipouton deck in the future if you are wondering why I haven't done one yet. So Hipouton, 130 HP, very strong card because of Resistance Desert. For 3 energy, you do 60, and then during your next turn, prevent all effects of attacks, including damage done Hipouton, by your opponent's EX. There won't really be that many cards that... There won't really be many decks that don't play EXs, so I feel like Hipouton is going to be a pretty decent card. Obviously, with Vespiquen, I mean, that kind of is out of the picture. You know, Vespiquen kind of eliminates Hipouton from the format, but still, there still will be decks that, you know, may just rely on EXs instead of that. So Hipouton could still be a very popular deck to try out. Next up is Giratina EX. Like I said, I don't want to go through every card from Ancient Origins because this is not what the video is about, because, you know, I don't have the set yet. The set hasn't come out, and the English scans have not come out yet. However, Giratina does have a nice ability to prevent damage from Megas, cough cough, Mega Manectric, and cough cough every other Mega in the game. But it's also second attack. Its attack, sorry, is pretty decent. 4 for 100. That's not a lot, but then your opponent can't play stadiums, tools, and I think special energy cards, which is actually pretty powerful. So we'll have to see if this thing even becomes playable with Mega Sceptile. So we'll see what happens. But I think Giratina is a pretty decent card. Next up is Mega Galilee. This is a card that I feel is probably one of the most underrated Mega Evolutions we have at the moment. Obviously, people don't play it. I don't know why, because I honestly think Mega Galilee is a pretty decent card. When rotation hits, this card might actually be a popular combo, especially on taking out those Lucario EXs. Unwavering Blade is a pretty good attack when you combo with Fortress, which we will still have. So Mega Galilee, I still feel, is going to be a very powerful card. And I honestly think this card could be a contender for a very strong deck when the rotation hits. I just love this card, and that's why I think it will be. Then we have Dialga, you know, metal decks will still see play. You know, Crumble Wind could work with Vileplume, you never know. Next up is Crobat. Crobat, very simple card. This is probably one of the, you know, funnest cards to use in the game. I mean, you can use it with any card, any deck if you really wanted to. Crobat is a very good card. However, we are losing that Free Flight Zubat. I still feel Crobat will still be a decent card, especially with Mega T-Tar and maybe the fighting types. Next up is Charizard. This is a card I feel is going to be even stronger with rotation, because we're not really going to have many water decks in the format. I mean, Primal Kyogre and Swampert, not really the decks I don't think are going to matter, because this thing could hit you on the first turn with the Battle Compressor Blacksmith combo. I think fire types are going to be a great deck. I think Charizard EX is going to be another very strong card. You know, with Keldeo being gone, it might hurt it a bit, but I still think Charizard EX is still going to be a very good card to play. You never know. It might be a great way to take out those Sceptiles. Next up is this Lugia, another new card we're going to be getting in Ancient Origins. A great attacker. Both attacks are good. It's pretty much Mewtwo and Donphan within one card. And like I said, this card could still be a decent card. You know, when Mewtwo first came out, the format was basically just judged by Mewtwo. So maybe it's obviously not going to be judged by Lugia, but Lugia could still be something decent. Aegislash, you know, just another card, you know, with metals. And yeah, that's it. Those are the decks that I feel, whoops, go away. These are the decks that I feel are going to be strong when the rotation hits. If you guys feel like there are any other decks I haven't covered yet, please leave a comment down below. I would like to know. And yeah, I will see you guys later. Goodbye.